Hello, Chloe. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm so great. I'm cozy. I'm hanging out. I got a sweater and my dog has a sweater.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
just
wearing a
I
short sleeve shirt right now,
yeah.
and I'm a little like I'm sitting next to a window. I'm a little chilly, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It
It
keeps
keeps
me.
you awake,
Yeah, yeah,
invigorated.
yeah. It's like a TV studio. They keep it like super cool. I also have lights on me, so it's like I
Yeah.
have, that's the only warmth I need. Uh,
That's the
uh,
heat.
how was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. It was
You
great.
had it was your birthday, right?
Yeah. So it was my birthday on Wednesday, and then I had people were like, "Oh, what'd you do for your birthday?" And I'm like, "It's a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. I worked." But so I did stuff on the weekend. I had a couple people over to my driveway on Saturday for a socially distanced hangout.
Nice.
Um, Special shout out to my roommates, Scott and Stephanie. Scott set up a little tea station.
Oh, what do you mean? Like a tea, like a high tea,
Like
like
a
a
high, like
an
hot
English
tea.
tea?
So because it was a little chilly on Saturday, so we could have some nice warm beverages to warm our fingies.
Oh, yeah, I don't want cold fingies,
You don't want cold fingies.
especially on your birthday.
Never. Yeah, and so we set up a bunch of chairs, nice and spread out. And then Stephanie made a whole red velvet gluten-free cake. It's so beautiful. She put cream cheese frosting on it. And this is her first. She's excited because she's into baking, and so this was her first tiered cake.
Oh, very cool.
And I always say like, "Oh, Stephanie and I made something," but I didn't. I just supervise.
Yeah,
I
tiered
just encourage
cakes are
her.
a whole new. I can do one tier, and it's a sheet pan tier with the. But yeah, like watching people like tier that and then like carve it like they want. It's crazy.
It's insane.
But I love red velvet. Red velvet's one of my. Reminds me.
Did you know that red velvet is chocolate?
What? Is it really?
Yeah. It's a kind of chocolate and it turns red because of the chemical reaction.
Huh. Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That's science.
Crazy. That's science.
That's science. Whenever I think of red velvet, I always think of that scene from Steel Magnolias. Do you remember the movie Steel Magnolias? Have you seen that, Chloe?
It was so long ago when I seen it. I don't remember what happened.
Oh, the one of the wedding cakes that is made is an armadillo cake for the wedding. It was the groom's cake. Shelby's husband gets his groom's cake, and it's an armadillo with gray icing. And it's red velvet on the inside, so it looks it looks like the inside of an armadillo. It's disgusting, and Shirley MacLaine is not pleased. So you should rewatch that movie. It's fantastic.
Shirley and I are on the same side in this.
Absolutely. Want to say good morning to Raj Andelman in the chat and Justin Avery Smith. Good morning. Thanks for watching. And Justin, we're glad you learned something. We try to. We'd also like to say good morning to our spam bot that showed up in the chat.
ZV Secret
12340. Big follows, y'all. Big
follows.
Don't click that link.
My follows.
And hey, my wife's in the chat. Good morning. She's just in the other room. I can wave to her. But she's watching, getting those views.
Getting the views in.
Yeah. Oh,
wow, look, now everyone's saying good morning. Hello.
Let's see. What did I do this weekend? I went for a big long walk with some friends out into the woods of Medford.
That's good. Yeah.
Which was fantastic. Raj Andelman led us through a hike, and honestly, I thought like at one point we were so deep into these woods. I mean, granted, it's Medford, so you walk just a little bit further, place. And there's going to be like a road or something. But at one point, I really thought that I was going to be taken into the middle of the woods and left for dead. It was.
Oh no, Matt, you wouldn't be left for dead. You'd be eaten by a witch.
I'd be eaten by a witch in the Medford woods.
I'm telling you, it's a wild place.
It really is, but it's gorgeous out there. I had no idea that there was such a beautiful place. And I took Gracie, our husky, with us, and I got drug around. There were 3 dogs. Rachel had Prince, and Ben was there, and he had Chance. And yeah, it was great. We hiked through the woods. It was fantastic.
Beautiful.
And then I came home and made butternut squash and apple soup.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've been getting into soups, making soups.
I'm in a soup now. It's not a big deal.
I've hit. I'm into my mid 40s, and now all of a sudden, soup is all I can think about.
Soup is very appealing.
It really is. It really is, especially since I have a Dutch oven, a La Crusette Dutch oven.
Wow. What color is it? It's
blue. It's like a bright blue.
Ooh, that's the best color.
Like a coral. I think it's like coral blue. I don't know. What is it? Caribbean is what Abby says.
Caribbean blue.
Yeah, Caribbean blue. And an immersion blender, so I can put all the stuff in there and then until it's nice and smooth.
Dang.
Witches
do be getting people into soups.
They do. Yeah, I blacked out for like 3 hours, and now all I can think about is making soup. It's weird. So we have a great show today. I'm very excited. We have comedian Lamont Price here. He's going to come on and chat with us here in just a few minutes, which I'm very excited about. We have I'm very excited about the musical guest. Also, Jessica Delfino is going to be on later in the program. But first, let's talk real quick about our fact of the day. Yes. Oh, yes. It's always nice to learn something. Get ready, Justin. You're about to learn something else.
Get ready, Justin.
So on this day in 1965, Walt Disney launches Epcot Center.
Wow.
The experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Tomorrow. It was the second park built after Magic Kingdom.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it spans 305 acres. Sorry, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page.
Wow.
Because that's where I get my facts for the show.
Yeah.
So that's our fact of the day. It's also National Fast Food Day.
What's your favorite fast food place?
What's my favorite fast food place? Oh man.
And why is it Culver's?
Yeah, right? Culver's is amazing. They don't have Culver's
Midwest life.
Honestly, if we want to talk Midwest fast food, because honestly, the Midwest is where the best fast food is.
We've perfected it.
We perfected it out there. Sonic, I think, is my favorite.
Yep. I had a feeling you were going to say Sonic.
Yeah, I'm a big
Not
Sonic.
only is it delicious, but the two spokes guys are improvisers.
Yeah, TJ and Dave.
And you always like to see one of your own succeed, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But man, they've got the burgers are just so good, and they've got the tots and the limeades. I always get the strawberry limeade. So
my parents are a big fan of the cherry limeades.
What are you thinking, chat? What's your favorite fast food place? It was Wendy's until I found out that Wendy's are kind of jerk bags. So I mean, it's fast food. Have you seen the movie The Founder? Did I mention this? Did I talk about this last week?
I think so. Yeah, because we talked about Michael Keaton.
We talked about Michael Keaton.
We love him.
Yeah. Oh, Five Guys is amazing. I do love me a good Five Guys burger.
Oh, we
got the classic.
Yeah.
Last
name Doll was very excited about McDonald's.
McDonald's Big Macs and Big Facts. Big Macs and Diet Cokes. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the classic Big Mac and a Diet Coke.
Any In-N-Out fans out there?
I've never had an In-N-Out burger. I haven't really been out west since I was like 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So that will lead to our trivia question today. Our trivia question is going to be fast food related. So here we go. Hungry Jack's is the name of a very popular fast food chain in Australia. This chain, same chain, is also very popular in the U.S., but it's not called Hungry Jack's. It's called something else.
I think I know what it is.
The name of that chain? And we'll talk about that at the end of the show. Keep it right there.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it at the end of the show. So let's go ahead. I think it's time. We've blathered on long enough. First thing in the morning. Let's bring out our first guest. Very excited that our first guest is able to join us before, it's early. And when you talk to comedians, it's hard to talk to.
They're late night folks.
They're late night folks. And I get that. I've become a night owl since this whole thing started. This whole pandemic started. And I feel that. So let's, without any further hesitation, let's bring out a very, very funny man, Lamont Price. Lamont.
Hey.
Good morning.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning.
You're fine.
Hey, listen.
Standing behind you.
That is Will Smith.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Do you really think that was somebody?
No.
Like I was a wrestler from the 90s with my bodyguard in the background?
Yeah.
The promo?
Well, so he has the vest, and so I was like, this is like Lando.
Right.
Lando or Han Solo.
This is Will Smith. One of my friends was moving some stuff out of her mom's house a couple of years ago. Her mom was like selling the house, and she was like, she's had this since the 90s, and she's gonna throw it out. And I was like, whoa, take it easy,
slow your roll.
I'm looking for a best friend. This is how I got Will Smith, who is life size, and then this poster is when I moved in here. There's a Harry Potter poster.
That was there when you moved in?
It's there when I moved in. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie, but I just think it's hilarious that I don't take this poster down.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's probably only funny to me.
Have you looked behind the poster? Is there anything behind the poster?
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize it might be coordinates.
It might be coordinates, or it might be a doorway to hell. So you might just want to leave it.
Yeah.
It's best to just probably
maybe just take like a little peek under the corner. There might be a tunnel.
Like actually, a Shawshank Redemption kind of tunnel. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I see a glowing light. It's like this Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't look directly at it.
Yeah.
Lamont, how have you been during the pandemic?
Oh well.
I mean that's we're gonna start. We'd like to start off with the really basic questions.
You want to start off upbeat. I honestly, how's everybody been? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know my Mondays from Fridays anymore. It's a weird thing. The weird thing is that I'm a lazy person. So kind of not leaving the house is like, oh, we got to stay in for real? Like, I get excited on snow days when I'm a grown man. I haven't been to school in like years, but somehow I still get like, I feel like I'm with everybody. Like, oh, no one can go. No one can point at me and say I'm lazy because everybody got film.
I too get very excited about that. Yeah.
So I've been sort of like at the beginning of this. Actually, it was like, oh, all right, well, I'll kick it at home for a little while. That's fine. Yeah. But at this point, it's like, oh man, I can't go out. That's you kind of get that struggle. But mostly, I'm not the kind of person that likes to leave my house anyway. I love doing stand-up comedy and I love going places and everything. But the worst day of any trip is the day of the trip for me. I hate the idea of getting there, whether it be bus, plane, however. I like where I'm at when I'm there.
Right.
But it's like, so if they could hurry up and get the teleporter ready or something.
Yeah. How do you? you know, when you do travel to go places, what's your, like, I know you hate it, but what's your preferred method? Like if you have to, if you like, do you prefer trains to planes, or do you prefer to drive? Or
I prefer anything where like nobody has to sit directly next to me.
mm-hmm.
So I don't care where, like, just not right here. You know what I mean? Give me a little buffer zone.
Yeah, a little space.
I feel that.
I always sit like in the furthest, like all the way in the back. So I go, no one's coming back here. There can't be enough people to get back here. And then when they do, it's like, oh my God.
You think about this as like a nightmare now, but I remember because I live right next to the like a 77 stop in Boston, so it goes all the way down Mass Ave from Arlington to Harvard Square, and the bus stop's just right down here, which is fine. When I would get on the bus, there would be hardly anybody on it, and then so I'd go to the back. But then by the time we get, 5-10 stops down the road, it's packed, just packed, like people ever, and it just like, and now that is a nightmare.
People stand up like holding like this, holding on to them. No one's happy doing this, by the way. No one's ever like, hey, good morning. Like no one's ever happy with this move. Especially
on a bus. When you stand like that on a bus, because that is deadly, because those bus drivers can really be crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like they're driving like they're on the freeway, and it's like, this is Mass Ave. You need to settle down.
Yeah, my aunt used to drive MBTA, so
I don't want to.
No, all right. I love it to death, but
that job has to take a toll on you. Like it has, like the job is not easy. I get that.
My aunt was like, so when I was a kid, I get on the bus, and she drove a bus that went through our neighborhood because we live close. And so I get on the bus one day with my friends, and me and my friends, we just want to go sit in the back. But every time my aunt was driving, obviously we get on for free. And then, but I have to sit up, right? And so we can talk. So my friends, right? So this was, I'll never forget.
That's the real price.
Yeah. So one time, like I get on there, and she's like, hey, Lamont, how you doing? I sit down. And there was a woman that was getting off. I guess she takes the bus every day. And my aunt goes, bye, girl. Okay, I'll see you. Okay, girl, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. And then she closed the door. She looked at me. She goes, she been wearing them same jeans all week.
Oh, no. This is confirming one of my worst nightmares, that people actually notice like that.
She would roast everybody. Maybe it's not you gotta understand, my family is hilarious. Like my family, we roast each other. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have an ailment. It doesn't matter what your problems are. People ask me about comedy all the time. They're like, Lamont, you ever worried about hecklers? Like, there's nobody downtown. They can come after me in a way that my family can't. Like the toughest rooms I've ever been in have been the living room. Like Thanksgiving at my family's normally, it's rude business. Like everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean everybody is bro. No one is spared, and it's all love. It's all love, but you can't, like nobody downtown at the comedy club who paid their money is gonna say anything to me that can affect any way that my family can. My family, oh my God! So, yeah,
that's amazing. So is like, did you know that you were going to get into comedy from a very young age? Did you know that you were like, this is what I'm going to do?
I started. You know how when you're a kid, you have all these fanciful ideas of what your life can be like when you get older, and you take a lot of it from movies and TV shows. So, like, I wanted to be an airline pilot. I wanted to be an intergalactic bounty hunter. Like, I wanted to be Boba Fett. For the Star Wars nerds out there, I wanted to be Boba Fett when I was 10. Like, you don't even understand. I was like, where do I sign up?
I told my mom to start calling. I told my mom that my name was Catwoman now, and I get mad at her when she messed it up. I was Catwoman.
You both have amazingly exciting people that you wanted to be. I watched a lot of Matlock as a kid, so I wanted to be Matlock.
Don't feel bad about that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let me tell you something that Hollywood does not like. Hollywood's all about marketing. Andy Griffith was a G. You hear what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. I don't watch enough Matlock. I've seen episodes. Of Matlock. First off, the theme song for Matlock is dope as hell. All right, and I'm disappointed that more rappers have not used that theme song as it's not sampled in the beat. That theme song is fire. Fire. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Andy Griffith Show nerd. I've seen every episode. Love the show. I get, and here's the thing. If you really pay attention to it, the parallels between the Andy Griffith Show and Seinfeld are striking. Absolutely striking.
Oh,
they're both open world universes, as in there's so many, like Simpsons, like there's so many characters. You see, you realize, oh, Uncle Leo's been on Uncle Leo. Everyone knows who Uncle Leo is, but he's really been on the show like 14 times through a 9-year run. So you might see him once, maybe twice a season, but it sticks every time. The Andy Griffith Show had those kind of characters where you see a character once or twice a season, and then there's so many to go through. You never run through. You never get sick of any of them. You have your main characters, your main plot drivers, like 4 or 5 characters, and everyone else is just like popping in and out. And then you go with Jerry and Elaine had their relationship. Then they broke up like right before the show began in storyline. And then Jerry kind of had a lot of girlfriends on that show, right? Now they didn't do this as obviously in the Andy Griffith Show, but in the first season, Ellie Walker came in, and she was actually, this is also hilarious to me, the first time she showed up because she worked at the pharmacy, and they called her the whole time, because you know how sexist it is. Oh, the lady druggist is what they called her.
The lady druggist.
The lady druggist. And I think that the sign of the times, I guess, not that it's ever acceptable, but I say this, if I was a female rapper in the 90s, that would definitely be my name. I would be druggist. You could not tell me nothing about that. But he dated Ellie Walker in season 1, and then she left the show. It was something about creative differences or whatever. She didn't want to be on the show anymore. She was the show's big get. She was on, I think, Father Knows Best in the 50s. So she was like, oh, we got her. Anyway, seasons 2 and 3, before Andy met Helen Crump, who he eventually married, Opie's teacher, this man was a Rolling Stone. This man had a different girl every episode. I was like, Andy, did they just gloss over the fact that Andy is really out here getting it in? Now, they did it differently back then. It was, they didn't go right to hooking up. It was more like, the whole courting and the sitting by the fire with the guitar, but we know what was going on.
Absolutely.
They had to dress it up for the viewers. But the parallels of those shows, and there are more reasons than that, but those parallels of Andy Griffith and Seinfeld, and even a little bit of The Simpsons, is striking.
That's nuts. I mean, the TV's got a formula, though, right? And there's a reason why it's been going forever, is because it works. You find something that works and you go with it. But those shows stand out. Like, those shows stand out kind of in a different. You know what? First time I saw Seinfeld, I was like, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12, and I didn't know what it was. And the only reason I watched it is because it came on after the Super Bowl. And it was like, it wasn't.
What a weird time.
4 or 5. And I didn't, so I just watched it because it was on. And then I remember it being like, I didn't understand. I wasn't old enough to get it. But something hit me. And I was like, this ain't Full House. Something about this show is far different from Family Matters. I don't know what it is just yet. And it was just that, and I remember going to school and trying to explain it to my friends, but I didn't have the ability to explain it. I just kept saying, you don't understand. They don't care about anything.
It's Seinfeld.
You need to see what I see.
So to answer your question, I was probably 12. We got off track,
Right.
but
Brought it back around. That's all that matters.
Probably 12 years old. When actually I know I was 12 years old when I knew for sure I wanted to be a stand-up comedian because I told like a dirty joke in the cafeteria, and I was already into watching comedy. I already started watching stand-up. I had been watching stand-up and listening to stand-up for like a couple of years at that point. But when I knew I wanted to be it or be a comedian, I told this joke at school. The entire lunch table laughed. The entire table next to us laughed, and I felt like He-Man when he held the sword up. Like I felt this power. And I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want.
Oh, I get that. I get that 100%.
Do you remember what the joke was?
Ooh.
Can I say it on here? I mean,
you get whatever you want, Lamont. This is Twitch. We're on the internet. It's we're marked as an adult-only channel, so who knows?
Okay. All right, I'll tell you the joke. I mean, I remember it. I remember the day vividly.
Yes.
I'll never forget this day. We were in the cafeteria, and it was lunch, and so there was this kid named Alex. He never used the bathroom at school, and for some reason we took note. And so one kid decided to ask, kids got these weird, he don't never use the bathroom. And so one kid asked him one day, he was like, hey, Alex, how come you never use the bathroom in school? And before he could answer, something in me said, just say it. And without thinking, I just blurted it out. And I said, this is exactly what I said. I go, that's because he jerked off so much in elementary school, his dick fell off. And the whole table. Now I get it. That joke is goofy, but I'm 12, right?
Right.
Like
It's pretty good for 12.
That's a pretty hot joke for a 12-year-old.
At 12, I'm closing with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whole table loses it. The table next to us loses it. And I felt like I was sitting there with the Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you couldn't tell me I was a hero for the rest of the day. And I knew I needed that power all the time. I said,
Trumpets played, the heavens opened, and a light shined down on a young Lamont Price.
At that moment, I knew for sure I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. For sure.
Oh, that's so great.
I love that you have you ask a lot of, you ask, 10 people how they got into comedy, 9 of them will be like, well, it was but you have a very specific origin story, and I love that. I love that very much.
I think it's because I love comedy before that. Like I'm 12, obviously. So when I was 10, I started listening to somebody gave me a Richard Pryor's Greatest Hits when I was 10, right? And I listened to it. I didn't understand the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand 95% of the jokes because it was over my head. But I understood the rhythm. Mm-hmm. The rhythm got it. So I did a lot of laughing because I understood the rhythm. A lot of the jokes and the brilliance of those jokes kind of I figured out years later. I was like, oh, that's what okay. I get it all now. But the rhythm, boom, boom, boom. And so from there, I would, anytime I could see comedy, anytime I could pick up some comedy, I finally got to see like Eddie Murphy's Delirious, obviously in early 90s as opposed to, I think it came out in 83. And Eddie Murphy, I said, oh, this is gonna sound goofy, but personality wise, I'm like, he reminds me of me. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to, so when I saw Beverly Hills Cop, which is the greatest movie of all time, fuck Casablanca.
It's so good.
Casablanca is, I'm not actually definitely, that shouldn't even be a hot take. People should realize that Casablanca came out when there was no video games. Like there was, no amusement parks. There was nothing to do. What else are you going to do in 1939 or 1940, whenever that came out? You was going to see Casablanca. You had nothing better to do.
The only thing, yeah.
Wartime propaganda. That was their cup of tea.
Everybody talks about like how I think it's them or Gone with the Wind. That's still with inflation. They sold the most tickets, and like but
right.
They didn't have to compete with another Gone with the Wind or Casablanca. They didn't have to compete. All they had to compete with was museums, and at that point, we were getting sick of statues.
Yeah.
So there was nothing else to do. Mm-hmm. You know, if you put that movie now up against Endgame or Infinity War, forget it. That put it up against Liar Liar. It's getting trounced.
Did you say Liar Liar?
Yes, he did.
Liar. Put it up against Holes. I don't care. It's getting trounced.
I like Holes. That was a good book and a good movie.
You would watch it. That's right. I'm big up in it over Gone with the Wind or Casablanca.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Holes was the first time that I was like that. I felt like my crush on Shia LaBeouf was justified.
There were more Shia LaBeouf stuff to be crush worthy about before Holes.
Well, that's what I mean. Is that like I had a crush on him from watching Even Stevens, and then I watched Holes, and I was like, I get it now why I like him.
Yeah, because that was his first movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then I remember they did all the cast, all like the main characters from Holes did a rap. That was a strange time.
That was a strange time. We've got a comment in the chat. Heller Good. I don't know what these numbers mean. So explain yourself. He's throwing up some numbers here. I don't know.
No, I get it. I'm feeling them. I'm feeling them. He's ranking these movies. He's ranking them correctly.
Thank
you.
Shout
out to way down there.
Seems like everybody knew that but me. So thanks everybody for guiding me into the.
Don't worry, Matt. It took me a second because usually when you rank things, it's like
yeah.
You bet you stumbled on the conspiracy there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, these numbers mean something, and they mean something. Whatever's behind that poster is in these numbers, right here. So Lamont, I was watching some of your YouTube videos last night in prep for our interview today. What's it like? You've done some stuff for Channel 10 here in Boston, NBC. Do you still do stuff for them, or was that just kind of a couple years ago and no more? I mean, obviously you can't go out now because of pandemic stuff, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, if the world were, if we weren't living in a zombie apocalypse, I would be making more.
Right.
So, I mean, we've already talked about that. But, yeah, I have a web series for them called Lamont Boston. And it's fun. We just kind of, my takes on different Boston traditions.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you whether I like them or not. I did an entire episode about how much I hate clam chowder. I think it's stupid. Here's the thing. It's not that. It's just, I'm not. People get mad because they go, "I love clam chowder." I'm like, you can love it. It's okay to love it, but I don't want it representing this. Like, it shouldn't be the like I. You know what I mean? Like, we also have clam chowder should be. Oh yeah, and we also have clam chowder.
Right. It should be a perk.
Right. Yeah. By the way, we have clam chowder. Like, that's what clam chowder should be.
Mm-hmm. You should never lead with clam chowder.
Lead with it. So I do those, but yeah, we haven't been able to make any, obviously, because of the world.
I think my favorite one that I saw was you talking about Alston Christmas. I moved to Boston in 2014. So I had no idea what Alston Christmas was until there was a show at IB, Improv Boston. Well, I don't know. For those of you watching at home that don't know, that was like it's Alston Christmas Charlie Brown. So it was a Charlie Brown Christmas special, but with Alston Christmas. And I didn't know what that was. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's when everybody, for those of you that don't know, it's when everybody puts everything out on the curb. All the students get rid of everything, and you get bed bugs.
Yeah. A lot of you can if you take their beds. A lot of rich kids from out of town, but parents buy them a bunch of stuff, a bunch of dope stuff that they don't appreciate. It's just kind of like, oh, I need this while I'm living in this place. And then when they move, inevitably, they put it out on the curb because who needs to keep stuff when you have more money to buy new stuff? And that's the natives. We get to take we get a pick of the litter,
Right?
And I love it. We didn't have one this year, obviously, but
probably for the best.
Yeah, I definitely don't want the COVID dressing.
Yeah, nobody wants to touch each other's stuff right now.
I mean, I barely want to touch my own stuff right now. So, oh yeah, this is a morning show. Sorry. So Lamont, are you doing anything coming up? Do you have any like virtual shows coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Well, I mean, I occasionally will do a virtual comedy show. I'm doing something for this company called Toketivity on December 13th. That should be good. I mean, but if you follow my Instagram or my Twitter at LPizzle, LPIZZLE on Twitter and LPIZZLE on Instagram, LPizzle12, LPIZZLE12 on Instagram. I'll update that as we go. That's coming up, and I have a podcast that I started doing a few months back called the Lamont Experience. I can't keep my name out of stuff.
No, why would you?
That I do with Experience Creative and Boston Cannabis Week, and we just interview various creatives. You know, we've had recently Josh Gondelman was in an episode.
Oh, nice.
Aaron Jackson, hilarious comedian. Jimmy Kang, who is one of the managers for the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh,
we've had on, and so we hope to get some more cool people on.
Yeah.
Monday on the.
Your internet just went crazy there, Lamont. Oh, I think you're.
Really? Did you hear everything? Did I?
I didn't. You cut out after Wu-Tang.
Am I back?
I think that was maybe something that they've done to make sure that nothing else is said after Wu-Tang Clan.
Spill all their secrets.
Wu-Tang is tricky. Wu-Tang is secretive. You got to be careful when you spit. Well, what I was saying was, we have episodes that air every Monday afternoon at noon on Boston Cannabis Week's Facebook and YouTube pages. And it's called the Lamont
Boston
Experience, produced by Experience Creative. Yes.
Very cool. Well, we will definitely check that out. You mentioned Josh Gondelman. You and Josh have both been on Kelly McFarland's show, Genuine Nonsense. You were on that show a couple weeks ago. Were you? Oh no, you were on Tookie's show. You were on. Yeah, you were on the Rehash.
I was on the Rehash. Yes, I've not been on Kelly's show yet.
Well, we'll need to fix that because
Kelly's been on my show though. Kelly's been on my show though.
Oh, okay. Well, at least Kelly's been on your show. Kelly's a fantastic person, and she has a show tonight at 10. So Lamont, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for getting up early and coming on and joining the show. Check out all of Lamont's stuff on Instagram, LPizzle12, and on Twitter at LPizzle. Awesome. Lamont, have a great rest of your day. And
thank you guys. And happy birthday, Chloe. I think you said it was your birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I'm gonna go
take care,
some
Lamont.
weed.
Sounds like a plan. Take
Perfect
care.
Monday.
Oh man. Very, very funny guy. Lamont
that's
Price.
so great.
So glad that he was able to come on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, for booking that. That was fantastic. So
I'm
let's go.
I'm gonna get into the Andy Griffith Show now.
I mean, Don Knotts is quite possibly one of my favorite comedic actors. What?
Do you know? Wait. I think I'm thinking of the right thing. Do you know about? It was like the Don. It was Don Knotts, and it was a propaganda movie where he turns into a cartoon fish.
Yeah, The Incredible Mr. Limpet is the name of that movie. When you started saying it, I was like, okay, I know like 3 Don Knotts movies, and and 2 of them are the Apple Dumpling Gang. So I'm really glad that it was the Apple Dumpling Gang, and then the Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again.
He turns into a fish.
Limpet, I think. The Incredible.
And he fights Nazis that way.
He does fight Nazis that way. Limpet. Limpet. Yeah. Hold on one second. Usually I want to take everybody a peek behind the curtain here. Usually we have the amazing Mike Carr backstage running things, but today he had a prior engagement, so he was not able to be here, which means I'm running everything and hosting the show. So normally Mike would have, that picture of the Incredible Mr. Limpet all queued up, ready to go. But
Mike,
I had to
miss you.
Mike,
come back.
But don't worry, I figured it out. And there it is.
There he is.
The Incredible Mr. Limpet, where he turns into a fish.
I can't believe someone. I guess, but I recently watched Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, and I realized that was also bonkers wartime propaganda. Mm-hmm. It's Angela Lansbury enchanting a bed so it can travel, and she's taken in these wartime orphans. Mm-hmm. And
it's set World War II,
yeah, and then they're trying to find this one spell so she can fight the Nazis with it.
Yeah. What is it? Locomotion, something locomotion.
Yes.
Is the name of the spell, but I can't. Yeah. But I love Bed Knobs and Broomsticks is one of my favorite live action Disney films.
It's fantastic.
I'm also a big fan.
A national treasure.
A national treasure.
International treasure.
And international treasure. Have you ever seen the movie Candle Shoe?
No.
Another Candle Shoe. Also another Disney movie with a very, very young Jodie Foster.
Oh, wow. Is there a candle on her shoe?
No, the Candle Shoe is the name of this big manor. It's like a little mystery film.
I'll just check that one out.
Yeah, it's got Jodie Foster and David Niven, who is a British actor that I love so much. So let's see. It looks like we do. Oh, we have our next guest ready in the back. Very excited to bring out our next guest. Oh, she's getting ready. So don't worry, Jessica. We'll bring you out in a few. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready, and we'll bring you on. So she's getting set up right now. Very excited. While we're doing that, I do want to real quick. Let's do this. Chloe, I told you it was National Fast Food Day.
Yes.
What I didn't tell you is that I created a little slideshow here that has some of some weird ass food.
Oh boy, I love your food slideshows.
This is a slideshow of some weird ass fast food. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited to show you my findings. So let me get this shared here. Wonderful. Here we go. Weird ass fast food. I know I'm trying to be profesh.
I love it.
This is the firecracker burrito from
What?
Taco Bell. This was a burrito that you added Pop Rocks to. I wish I was making this up, but
Okay. All right, Taco Bell.
yeah. I mean, it might have been at the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
I'm guessing it was.
Yeah, probably.
Their fusion has gone too far.
Yeah.
Fusion cuisine.
Then there's this one, the buffalo flavored latte from everyone's favorite Canadian store, Tim Horton. Yeah, that's a thing. It happened.
Why would
These
you
all
want
actually happened. I didn't make any of these up.
chicken flavors in your coffee?
Yeah. Yeah. Then we've got, speaking of sweet and savory, we've got cookie dough chicken tenders. This was from Popeyes.
Wait. But
Yeah.
where's the cookie dough?
It's in the batter of the fried chicken.
Okay, so it's just deep fried cookie dough.
It's deep fried cookie dough wrapped around chicken tendies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not into it.
Mm-mm.
I'm not into it at all.
Nope.
Then we've got the Pizza Mac. So this is from Germany.
This is from terrifying.
This is McDonald's Germany, and it looks like a Big Mac that they made pizza style.
Have you ever had a hamburger pizza?
Oh, I love hamburger pizza. I love pizza burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically what this is. This is, like you said, this is probably the least terrifying of all of them.
Yeah.
And then there's this. This is the final. This is the Chocodilla. This is a quesadilla with what looks to be like Kit Kat bars and chocolate. And this was a Taco Bell thing in like 2017.
Are they like sweet tortillas? Is it more just like a crepe?
I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. My assumption is it's so gray. It's so gray.
It's so gray.
Yeah. So that is our weird fast food. There was so much more, but I didn't want to waste.
Northern Europe has insane ideas about pizza. They do.
They really do.
They do.
All right. Well, let's bring on our musical guest for the day, for the show. Let's welcome the wonderful Jessica Delfino to the stream. There she is. Hello, Jessica.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you today?
You guys, I'm so happy to see people, even if it's on a video screen. This is incredible.
Yeah, and it looks like you're outside enjoying the beautiful sunshine.
I am outside. I have a toddler, and outside is the only place to go to kind of escape him. So,
Yep.
So unless you guys want him running over and asking me a million questions during this interview, then patio is where I be.
I remember one of our first musical guests, dear friend of the show, Harry Lacoste, brought on his son with him, and they.
See, that's he must have a son that that listens to 10% of the things he says, or
I would say 6 to 8%.
okay.
I would say.
Yeah.
It's very bright out here. I have to say, I didn't realize it was going to be this bright.
Yeah, it's a nice day.
Your lighting's fantastic.
Well, right?
Yeah.
My lighting is incredible. The sun is the best lighting source for photography.
It's true.
It's really great.
It's true.
Yeah, I think the sun is just the best lighting source.
Yes.
You know, I'm just very thankful for it.
And the sun, the credit that it's due.
Right?
No one appreciates the sun anymore.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's
I do. I just wanted to say, son, if you're listening, I'm a fan, mega fan.
Big fan. Yeah.
Son's watching. Son's a very big fan of the show. It's
Our biggest fan, perhaps.
our biggest fan.
Yes.
So Jessica, you have a few projects out right now. You've got a book coming out. You've got an album that you have a track on that you're trying to get a Grammy nomination for. Is that hopefully I was looking at your Twitter and I'm hoping that is up to date.
Yeah.
Otherwise This is
did
going to be
try
weird.
to get a Grammy, and that was a fun project. Voting has been completed now, so now we
Oh,
just
okay.
wait. You know, we should be getting our phone call any day.
Any day.
Oh, good.
Very very excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will come, something will come
Fun
of that.
album. It's an album about COVID, and so a bunch of these comedic musicians got together and all wrote a funny song about their take on COVID, and that was our project. It was, you got to stay busy during these uncertain times. So
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented. I mean,
Absolutely.
the whole keeping busy thing was why we started this channel in the first place. Was just like, we need a project to keep us busy because we're all going slowly insane.
Yes.
So has this been a good time for writing? Have you been writing a lot of tunes, or have you had a lot of like ideas for stuff as of late?
Yeah, for music, not so much, because music it's kind of loud, and when you're sharing a house with people that you're stuck with, you have to kind of all be on board. You know what I mean?
Right.
Either you all have to agree to be loud at the same time, or you all have to agree to be quiet at the same time. Well, one person's loud. You know what I mean? So it's a little hard to negotiate that. But I have been doing a lot of writing. I've been writing a lot of I'm working on 2 books, which I was lucky to sell this year. And I'm working on just a lot of, I'm a ghostwriter also. So I write other people's books.
Oh,
So
very cool.
I'm writing 3 other people's books. I'm writing 2 of my own books.
Wow.
And then I write articles for different publications and stuff. So I'm working on 2 articles. So I've got a lot of writing stuff kind of on my plate right now, which is really nice, because I can kind of write anywhere. I can write on my phone, I can write with paper, I can write in my head and like jot it down, so that's a good project for the unprecedented.
That's wonderful. You've got a book that I saw and it hasn't come out yet, right? The
at the end
Dumb
of
Jokes for Smart Folks.
Yeah. Yep. I'm very excited about this book. It's a joke book, and it's a stupid joke book of the really dumb jokes. And it's called it's Dumb Jokes for Smart Folks, and it's the concept of it is that I'm a mom and I'm taking back the dad joke. Because you've heard of dad jokes. Everyone hears, because dads are like the funny and cool ones, right? Dads are always cool, and they've got plenty of time to make jokes and be happy. Everything's cool, right? Moms are like the mad ones. If we don't have time to make jokes, we're tired. So taking back the mom joke concept and or the dad joke.
Excellent.
I'm reclaiming it.
I love that.
So that's what the book's about.
Can you give us a taste? Can you give us a preview without, like, obviously we want to buy the book. But
I have some a couple things. Well, first of all, there's a lot of puns, a ton of puns, and I think of puns all the time. Like while I'm going through the day, I'm like, oh, I should have used that pun. That would have been a good pun to use. Got to write another joke book now. And I thought of one today. What was it? It was so stupid. I was like, oh, this would have been perfect. Let's see. I'll see if I can think of it. But in the meantime, I've got there's a whole page of tongue twisters for every single letter of the alphabet.
Oh, I love tongue twisters.
Yeah, they're fun. So if you're an actor, you might or a singer, you might enjoy that part. And then there's there's silly things like there's top 10 worst flavors of ice cream. There's a whole thing about cups that I wrote. It just, look, I don't choose the muse chooses me.
That's the mark of a good writer, right? Is you have to let your environment inspire you.
You have to be a little open, to intrusive, ridiculous thoughts, I think, because those are the things, at least for me, I feel like creativity, it's like lightning, it strikes you and you might survive. You probably will.
You got to listen to your goblin brain sometimes.
Oh yeah. I listened to it too much. I listened to it a lot more when I was younger. And these days I'm like, shut up, stop it. Stop, because no, I can't do that. That's
I'm a
great
mom.
idea.
I'm busy.
Well, my son, my son also, because when you're a toddler, you're real close to your goblin brain. And the other day we went to the library and it was closed. And he was like, well, just use your key and open the door. And I was like, well, I don't have a key to the library. He was like, well, just smash your car through the door then. And I was like, you got me. I mean, that would work, but I didn't.
Creative solutions.
But it is a goblin brained idea that I can relate to. So, okay, I have, let's see, there's limericks, there's absurd adverbs, there's preposterous proverbs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is great.
There's Latin jokes. There's a whole page of Latin jokes.
Which I really think is missing from the comedy scene these days more and more, are Latin jokes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd also like to write a book of Hebrew jokes. I have a song I wrote in, it's not really in Hebrew, it's like partially Hebrew. And I also want to write some stuff in Pig Latin. So I'm very multilingual, you guys. I got a lot of
very cool.
There's a whole list of alphabet jokes. So like, there's obviously like what letters are Italian?
What
letters?
Yeah, what letters are Italian?
What letters are Italian?
Yeah, some of these are thinkers too, which is
well, I mean it's in the name of the book. Dumb jokes for smart folks. You got to be smart to figure these out. I don't know what letters.
Which letters are Italian?
Italian.
A-O.
Italian American.
Yeah.
Thank you. I should have. Yeah. See, you should have been my editor.
I was an English major.
Then, but yeah. So then I've got a joke that includes every letter in the alphabet, which is.
Oh, cool!
Really fun.
That's
It's Let's see if I have. I'm looking for just another real quick one. There's a lot of like parenting jokes, like some of them are really jokes that only moms would get. Like, where do new moms go to have fun?
I don't know. Where do new moms go to have fun?
There is no such place on earth that exists.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, yeah.
What both starts and ends fights?
I don't know what book starts and ends fights.
What both starts and ends.
Oh, what
fights.
both?
And it might help you to know the category here is parenting parade.
Okay.
Oh.
So what both starts and ends fights?
Bedtime?
Your mother.
Oh.
And it's fun too, because in the introduction I talk about how you're gonna have a whole range of responses to these jokes. Some will definitely make you laugh. Some will make you go, yeah, I get it. And every response in between, maybe a little disturbed.
Yeah, a lot of face palming, a lot of. Ugh.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, whew.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So when does this book come out? I see that it's pre-order. You can pre-order it.
You can pre-order it at dumbjokesforsmartfolks.com. And
that's.
Yeah, so the Weekly Humorist is the publisher, and you may
have heard of
Weekly Humorist. They're a satire website. They have a lot of political satire, and they're along the lines of what you might see in, say, McSweeney's or New Yorker. That kind of satire writing, and Belladonna, that kind of stuff. And so they are the publisher, and I actually have 2 books coming out with them. The first one is a joke book. The second one is called Moms Who Kill. And it's a book of short stories by funny moms, by comedian moms. And that'll be out in early 2021.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love that.
Fun. And these are my first 2 books that I've ever written for myself. So I'm excited about that. The other books that I write are usually people's life stories. So for example, I don't know, some kids are like, what should we get mom for Christmas this year? I don't know. Let's I saw this website where you can like pay this woman to write her life story. Yeah, that seems cool. Let's do that. So that's the other thing that.
Oh wow! So you like if someone wants to, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what a ghostwriter does. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also writing a book through the service that this guy came to me and he was like, I want to write a book called, how to make passionate love to your wife. I've been carrying it around inside me for a long time. I'm a really good lover and I got to write this book. And I'm like, let's make it happen, guy. You stumbled onto the right weirdo. I can do this. So I've been working on that book with him. And, it's great because there are project managers and editors and people who kind of handle the back, part of the business. And all I do is I do the interviews and I write. So I don't really have to do much else than that. But it's funny because the people come in and they think that I'm like, I kind of turn into part guidance counselor and all kinds of other things along the way. But it's a lot of fun. And I'm really happy and grateful that I get, the honor of writing, people's life stories. They trust me with some really personal stuff. So.
Oh man. Now that the fact that he was like, I'm a really good lover.
He was like, I've made love to women all over the world. And I'm ready to talk about it. I'm like, dude, let's do this.
You and literally every other person that is like they love you. So what's the weirdest like story you've heard besides this one? Like is there like a specific book that you've helped write in the past? And I don't know if you can like talk about it in this kind of way. I don't want you to offend any people you've written books for.
I forget if I signed an NDA or not. Mom brain is real, you guys, and so I don't know if I'm technically even allowed to talk about these books. I think I am because at least with the one that I just mentioned, he's going to take that one public. Now, some of the other stories that are a little more personal, I probably am not really allowed to share in depth. But I'll say just generally, there are a lot of like interesting life anecdotes. Like there was this one story in this book. There's like a lot of cute things, a lot. Like there was this one story where this guy went to a whole bunch of concerts. He went to every single concert and got a T-shirt at every concert. And his wife, for their 50th anniversary, I think it was, took all of the T-shirts and cut them together into a quilt and had this master quilter sew a bed quilt out of them, which I thought was a really neat idea. I've heard people doing it with like baby clothes and stuff too. So I thought that was cute. As far as crazy, I mean, it gets about as crazy as you can expect a typical American's life to get. You know what I mean? It's not anything. There was one guy who moved here from Italy, and he had some stories that were a little, he was like, I could tell you some stuff that could get us both killed. I'm like, please don't. That's okay.
Don't even mention it.
So so that was that kind of stuff, I guess, does come up, but it doesn't usually make it to the book. You know what I mean? The books are they stay pretty tame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your music for a second. I saw a video of you with you had a two ukulele. Were they two different? They were two different instruments strapped together.
Yeah, that's my one woman band instrument, my one mom band, actually, I call it. And that's a guitar that my friend actually built me out of garbage parts. And he's a really neat guy. He's a luthier. That's the vocab word of the day. A luthier, person who builds guitars.
Luthier,
like Lex Luthier. And
yes.
And then the Flying V ukulele was taped to the top of it. The Flying V ukulele I got in Scotland at a music store there one day after a breakup. I had me and my boyfriend had broken up, and I walked by this guitar store. And some people eat gallons of ice cream, and some people cry, and some people buy Flying V ukuleles, and that that was my sort of treat to myself. And it was cool when I saw it. I was like, I was feeling pretty low, and I kind of looked over and saw it, and I was like, that's definitely going to change every part of my like mood, to have that thing. So I went in and bought it. And then I've been doing a lot of ancestry work lately because my husband bought me a ancestry membership for Christmas last year. And I've been into it. And it turns out my grandfather's brother was like the family ukulele player. So I guess I inherited it somewhere.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so that instrument though was just a kind of a fun idea because I had this, actually speaking of the movie you were talking about Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. It's not that one. What's the other one? The Sound of Music, or with that instrument in it that's like a million instruments taped together.
Oh,
That's Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Oh, thank you, Mary Poppins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my son watches all those movies, and I can't keep track of the names of them, but that movie, that instrument kind of partially inspired that. I was like, oh, that's kind of a fun, just put a bunch of instruments together and maybe it'll sound cool or maybe it'll look fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
The whole concept of one-man bands or one-person bands is such a cool concept because you're doing, you've got it everywhere. You've got a horn here, you've got the bass drum on your back, you've got
so much coordination.
Yeah, they're normally pretty much the same though, right? There's a person with like a guitar and then they have like a step like drum thing and then maybe like a shaker or a harmonica. So it was fun to try something a little bit different, by putting the ukulele and the guitar together. And then I taped a little like glockenspiel to it, and I had a bell, and I had a couple other instruments that were a little bit different than your typical, one mom band routine, if you will.
Very
I like
cool.
to stir things up, it's fun. It's fun to experiment.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, are you in a place where do you have your ukulele handy, or is this
I have my plain old guitar. I bought this guitar in Arkansas on one of my rock digging trips because that's a hobby I like. I like to dig for minerals and crystals and stuff. I'm not a witch, it's just fun. And,
you can be a witch if you want to be a witch. We're not anti-witch on the show, even though we did mention that they eat people.
Right.
Yeah, witches are totally cool. I have a lot of some of my friends not a witch.
Yeah, some of my best friends are witches. That's and they haven't tried to eat me yet. I guess only the Medford witches eat people. So
yeah.
Okay.
I guess
witches eat people. If you've seen that movie, the Stephen King, The Shining follow-up, I think it was called Dr. Sleep. That was kind of like a witches eating people movie. It was scary. Yeah.
I will have to check that out.
It's like Hansel and Gretel reimagined or something.
Oh, they also made a really creepy Hansel and Gretel movie as of late that was like super like hyper realistic and really super creepy.
I mentioned Hansel and Gretel to my son the other night at bedtime. I don't know why. He was like, tell me the story. And I was like, okay. And I told him the most like PG, like once upon a time there were two kids and then they went for a walk in the woods and they made it home and everything was cool. The end.
Story's a lot less interesting when you tell it like that, but you don't want to give your kid nightmares.
A lot more wholesome though. Yeah.
One day I'll tell them the whole story.
Yeah. Well, let's turn it over. Let's turn it over to you, Jessica, and play us a little tune.
Well, this song is a song about. It's off the COVID album that I was talking about. It's called "I Like My Mask," and this is my hippie Band-Aid. So don't mind that. It's a tie-dye Band-Aid. I stabbed myself earlier trying to give my cat an insulin shot, but I'm not going to distract you with that story. I'm going to talk about masks, guys. We should all wear our masks, and that's what this song's about. It goes. Let's see. I hate COVID like had to ask, but I really, really, really like wearing a mask. It covers up pimples, it's got a great style. It took been a while since a guy has told me that I should smile. I saved a fortune on lipstick, slims up all faces I've been able to put off buying adult braces. Wearing one is easy and there's no denying it. It's a simple act to keep so many grandmas from dying. I like my mask. I like my mask. After this is over, is it cool if I keep it on? I like my mask. I like my mask. I'm thinking I'll keep wearing one after this virus is gone. I like my mask. I'm totally forgetting the chords. I like my mask. I can see who's cool by taking a look around. I like my mask. I like my mask. Bummed to see so many all over the ground. That's the song. I totally messed up those chords, guys. It was tricky. It's not that tricky though. Let's see. A. Sorry, guys.
It's the G chord that gets me. Like, I've been trying to learn how to play the ukulele. I have a ukulele that I bought at the beginning of the pandemic, and I haven't played it since. Because I started on that G chord, trying to get that G chord, and I was like, oh, my hand hurts, and I'm a wimp.
Yeah. Yeah, chords hurt your fingers. It really is kind of a masochistic instrument. You know, and especially I teach too, and a lot of parents bring their kids to me. I don't know why, but they do. And I guess there's some part of me that seems nice enough. And they're like, you know, the kids are little and their fingers are little. And they're like, they've got these giant guitars. And they're like, yeah, we pulled this guitar out of the closet. It used to belong to Grandpa. The strings are all rusty. You know, I'm like, yeah, just let's get a ukulele. You know, let's start there. And I think that's a really good suggestion for anyone who wants to teach your kid to play guitar. Start with ukulele. Let their fingers grow about 10%, and then, you know.
Yeah.
I was at a school before the whole shutdown thing. I would do improv at schools through the touring company of this of Improv Boston. And one of the last shows I did, the school had a giant case of ukuleles. Like, it was just this like stand that just had like, must have been 20 to 30 ukuleles just like hanging up. And,
it sounds like my collection.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was.
Have a ukulele off.
You should, yeah, absolutely. But I'm like, that's such a wonderful way to teach kids. You know,
it is. It's a great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than giving them recorders, I think.
Way better. It's actually it teaches you dexterity in your fingers, which can go on to do all kinds of good things for and it's good for your brain development. I don't know if recorder has the same, because there's really not much to it. You just blow, you know what I mean? You could get the same effect from like blowing back into a straw into like a cup of milk, and I feel like that doesn't really take a lot of pizzazz to do.
Right. That's why I played trombone in high school and junior high, because it's just this, right?
But playing trombone, you have to there's a certain mouth form you have to do, and you have to master that kind of, so there is still a skill involved in that. But with recorder, it's like, it's really very, very basic. But I guess there is some finger coordination. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's also, I mean, theoretically, you could learn breath control, but they're kids.
Yeah.
They're just going to blow as hard as they can in there. And that's like, why would you invite people to a concert of that?
They've got all the breath in the world.
I mean, yeah, I think it's good for kids of any age to get, music into their system. And if that's what it takes, if it takes just the most very basic thing, a recorder or even a harmonica like that, then I guess that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Later on,
absolutely,
they can stretch out from there.
Jessica, we've got time for one more. If you'd like to do, one more song.
Okay, good. Hopefully, I'll be able to remember all the chords to this one. You guys, I haven't performed live in a long time, so.
Oh, well, we're glad that we could help. At least some sort of live performance, Yeah,
no, it's fun. It's super fun. I love the chance to play. I was doing these these couch concerts back in March when all this started, and then I was then everybody started doing these kind of live performance things, and I was like, it's okay, I'll put it down for a little while and I'll catch back up later. But this is a song that I wrote a while ago. It's an oldie. It's called Manslave, and it's kind of a Joni Mitchell inspired song about I guess making a man do the things you want him to do.
Yeah, here we go.
I want a man slave to do my stuff, cook me dinner and fluff my muff. I want a man slave to wash my clothes, wash my floor and hand wash my hose. Man slave, oh man slave, and he better not get a run in them, because then he'll have to go buy more. And I have needs and got time for my man slave to be running back and forth to the store. Man slave, I want a man slave to do my stuff, cook me dinner and fluff my muff. I want a man slave I can control, see what it was like to be the giver while I'm the taker. Man slave, watch me watch you be my man slave. Hear my socks, sweep the floor and lock the locks. I want a man slave who likes to sweat, doesn't mind getting dirty or bloody or wet. Man slave, oh man slave. It's funny I never found a man who was willing to take this job, but there are plenty of men who'd be fine with me being their slave while they sat around like a slob. Man slave, feed the cat. Man slave, hang my hat. Man slave, hand me the remote. Man slave, delint my coat. Man slave.
Oh, fantastic.
Joni Mitchell. Rachel says it's very Joni Mitchell. I agree.
Yeah.
You captured her vibes.
Oh, thanks. I love Joni. I'm a Mainer, and you can't grow up in Maine up by Canada without getting a little Joni in your veins. So
Absolutely not. Why would you
I'm a
want
big
to?
fan of that Blue album.
I got Gordon Lightfoot like all up in here.
Oh, speaking of Gordon Lightfoot, it's his birthday tomorrow, which will.
Sundown, you better take care.
I love Gordon Lightfoot. My dad used to listen to a lot of Gordon Lightfoot, and we had Gord's Gold on CD, and I latched onto that and listened to that album over and over again.
Fitzgerald, yeah, he's there's something special about him. I also really like Bob Seger. Bob and Gordy and Joni. Those are my peeps, my influences. All those guys and Two Life Crew. Those are like basically my
right. Yeah. And you've done such a wonderful job of mixing the two. I listened to your album last night. I had the album title and
Famous or Dirty Folk Rock.
It was the one about the Revolution songs. That song's before too. Yes, that's.
Yeah. I have a really discography. I've got
thank you so much, Jessica, for being here. Check out Jessica Delfino on Instagram and Twitter. You can also go to planetapartment.bandcamp.com.
I'm on TikTok too at just some mom, because you gotta, if you're a mom, you have to go on TikTok. I think it's the rules. So.
Okay. So find her on TikTok as well. But thank you, Jessica, for joining us and playing some tunes, and have a great rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, so good. So good.
Oh, it's fun.
Musical guests on this show. Killing it.
Crushing it.
So we are almost out of time, and there's still one really like a new segment that I want to try out.
Okay. Let's do it.
We're gonna push YouTube until next week.
Got it.
Just because we're running short on time, and I feel like this is a kind of an important, a fun kind of important thing that we can do. And that is going and checking in. We're going to start going in and checking in at the Northeast Animal Shelter. So there's an animal shelter just north of Boston called Northeast Animal Shelter. They're fantastic. And I just want, let's go to we're going to go to their website.
Let's take a look.
We're going to check out some of you want to meet cats or dogs first?
Ooh, I want to meet some dogs.
Let's meet some dogs. Chloe and I are both very much dog people. So we're going to look at, I've already been looking at some of these dogs today. Now, Chloe, you have a rescue dog, right?
Yes.
Buddy Joe. There he is. Hey, Buddy Joe. And my pup, Annie, who is currently in the front window guarding the street outside our house.
Yeah, she gotta make sure it's safe out there,
Yeah, she is. She's also a rescue. So rescuing pups is a very important thing.
It's great, you guys. They're already potty trained.
It's true. And what's great, like looking through here, it warms my heart to see all the I've been adopted. Like a lot of these pups have already been adopted,
Yeah.
which are fantastic. But if you are in the Massachusetts area, or if you're in the New England area, and you can, go on here and you've got some love to give, these pups definitely could use it. There's a couple here that just I just can't.
Baxter.
I know Baxter. He's 3 years old. He's a lab mix. Let's look at Baxter.
Hi, Baxter.
Look at that. He's a shy guy, but look at that. Look at that face.
So sweet.
So amazing. And if you can't, this is one that just gets me. Lola. When senior dogs need rescued, that just makes my heart. I'm like, oh, I want to take all the senior dogs. Abby and I have talked about eventually we're just going to have a place where we have like 20 rescue dogs, but we have an apartment now, so we can't do that.
Yeah.
So there's Lola, there's Scrappy, who's an elderly dog there, 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's just so many pups here. northeastanimalshelter.org. Go to this website.
Check out those pups.
Check out those pups. They've also got kitties on there, which is fantastic. This is another thing that you can do for them. You can go on and they have an Amazon wish list where you can go and if you can't adopt a dog, if you can't adopt a cat, you can go on. I just about spilled my coffee all over because
what kind of coffee you drinking today, Matt?
I'm not drinking Red Barn today, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Which sucks because I could have gotten 15% off my.
You could have got 15% off from Red Barn Coffee Roasters, who ship anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And normally, if Mike were here, he would have been playing this a long time ago. But I am the one in charge of putting these up now, and so I'm just going to let this run for a little bit.
Perfect.
But like I was saying, you can go and you can buy things that they need on their Amazon, like food and toys and things like that.
That's so great. That's so easy.
Exactly. And one last thing I want to mention about, and we'll check in with Northeast Animal Shelter periodically in the coming weeks. This is an amazing thing that they're doing here. This is the Healing Abuse Working for Change is a program that Northeast Animal Shelter works with. And they're a pet foster program for people that are in abusive relationships. And sometimes, I guess, if someone is in an abusive relationship, they will stay in that relationship because a pet is involved. Because, I mean, pets are basically our kids. Both my dogs, as Rachel would say, would die for. 100% step in front of a truck for either really for any pup, but if so what this group does is they will foster the animal for you while you find a different living situation, things like that, so you don't have to worry about it, and then you get your pet back, you get your pup or your kitty back.
Yeah.
So
that's so important. There's so many factors that you don't think about, and so it's really nice to have that resource of getting your pets taken care of, because that's when you're in transition like that. I mean, it's you already got so much to think about. Taking this one thing off your plate and knowing that your pup's going to be safe it's a big help.
It's important. So go to northeastanimalshelter.org. See this little button right here. Click that donate button. They've got so many different ways that you can donate and help out. If you can't, rescue a pup, all those pups would appreciate it. And of course, if you've got room in your life for a new pup or a new kitty, go to either this animal shelter or another animal shelter, and there's so many pets out there that need love.
It's true.
So you can,
and they'll love you right back.
oh my god, they will.
Like sometimes Buddy Joe knows when I'm sad,
Mhm.
and he'll be extra snuggly, and I'll be like, "Why are you so needy?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's me. I'm the needy one."
Yeah. Dogs know more about you than you know about you sometimes.
Yeah.
100%. Wow. That's our show. We're almost done, but we still have a very important piece of business.
Yes.
We have the trivia
Answer
question.
that question.
Hungry Jack's is the name of a very popular fast food chain in Australia, but it has a different name in the US.
Mhm.
What is it? So that is the answer to that is, of course, Burger King.
No way.
Yeah. So when Burger King tried to open up in Australia, they couldn't do it because there was already a Burger King that was that was not under that umbrella. So they had to change the name to Hungry Jack's.
I did not see that coming.
Right? Hungry Jack's is so Burger King, I guess, is owned by Pillsbury, and Hungry Jack's is a basically just a take from the Hungry Jack pancake thing that they do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
But yeah. But if you look at Hungry Jack's, which I, of course, in true Mike fashion, I have a picture ready to go.
Let's see it.
Look at that.
It looks
It
wow.
looks exactly like it's Burger King.
That is surreal. That's like it's like a parallel universe.
Oh, and evidently a D, Heller Good here, says Hungry Jack's sponsors Australian Survivor, and they give reward of Jack burgers every season.
Jack burgers?
Yeah. And look at that. You can get brekkie. I love that they call it brekkie. That makes me very happy. So that's the answer to the show. That's the answer to the trivia question. Real quick, let's do some birthdays because we're already a little running past time. We might as well just keep going. Today, W.C. Handy, self-proclaimed father of the blues, his birthday today. Burgess Meredith, my favorite grumpy old man, and Maggie Gyllenhaal are celebrating birthdays today. And then birthdays for the week, we got Gordon Lightfoot and Danny DeVito tomorrow. Margaret Atwood, new season of Handmaid's Tale coming out soon. And Duncan Sheik on Wednesday.
He's a songwriter.
He is. He also wrote the musical Spring Awakening.
He did.
Which was fantastic. Thursday, Meg Ryan, Jodie Foster, and Adam Driver. And then Friday, Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe. Good old Uncle Joe.
His birthday is on Friday. So happy birthday, President to be Biden. Very excited about that. So that's our show. Thank you so much. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button to get notifications on all our shows on 2MB Studios. We got a full lineup today, starting at 7 p.m. with one of the newest shows on the channel. That Sounds Right, with Misinformation and Will Actually. They had their first show last week. It was so funny. It was so good. And then followed by Poof, the Magical Game Show, Run On, and then Genuine Nonsense. That's all tonight, right here on 2MB Studios. Which
all night of fantastic programming.
Yeah, and we hit 500 followers last Thursday, so we're halfway to 1,000. We're actually at like 525 right now. So if you haven't followed and you're watching and you're enjoying the programming, please consider following. And if you really want to help, you can help support the channel by clicking that subscribe button. And if you have Amazon Prime, of course, you can do that for free.
Free.
Connect your Amazon Prime with your Twitch, and you get a free subscription every month. So that's our show. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. Thank you again to Lamont and Jessica for being on our show today. Chloe, any final closing words of wisdom?
Oh boy. Get outside as much as you can, everybody.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
See you.
And lock down your winter hobby now. Figure it out. Get some knitting needles. You're gonna be inside. You gotta do something.
Figure it out. Lock
Coloring
down that hobby.
Lock it down.
We'll see you next week.
Bye world.